Welcome back to Lifting with Lions. We've got a really unique episode. I know I say that all the time, but this one's different because I get to deliver the sad news. Tenny is no longer with us. He unfortunately caught a cold and he can't make it this week. I'm so sorry. So you get to hear from me, but this is exciting because now we're going to do a special episode featuring my wife, Mikaila. Say hi, Mikaila.
Hi.
She's pretty shy, if you can't tell.
No, I'm just nervous.
Okay, nervous.
I'm the social one.
You're making her nervous. So, Mikaila, you might know her as the one who hates fish.
Very true.
But she actually has a pretty important function behind the scenes. She is the dog tamer. She's the one that keeps the dog from making really annoying sounds, but because she's on the episode right now, you're probably going to hear our dog. So I'm sorry.
Sorry.
It's bad enough that Tenny's not here, but now you have to listen to the dog whining. I apologize. So just as a little background, Mikaila started lifting not long after I did, right?
It was like a week or two after you.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you started really, well, I guess when you started dedicatedly working out, which was about January, I decided, because I was on my winter break from school, that I'd come with you. And then ever since then, we just started going 2 times a week with me. And then you go 2 other times during lunch.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. So I think this is really cool because you are in the beginning stages of lifting as a female. And I think it's really great that we can touch on your experience. So I guess we'll just start right off. How did it feel, or what made you decide, honestly, to start lifting?
Well, I've always been pretty active my whole life. I played soccer growing up, and I loved doing sports for exercise. That was my favorite way to exercise, and I had tried to do lifting of some sorts in college when I wasn't playing soccer as much anymore. And I always would start, but I was one of the silly girls in the gym that was kind of watching everyone else, trying to figure out how to do the things and how to use the equipment, because I had no idea what to do or how to do it or where I should be filling it, if I was doing it right. And so I would go like once or twice, and then I'd be done, or I'd find a cute boy to flirt with and be done again. But so I guess I started this because I wanted to find a way to get active again.
Yeah, okay. That's all you had to say about the matter. Cool. So you started essentially to get active.
Yeah, to get active. I just wanted to get my body. I know I'd gotten a little sluggish because I wasn't exercising as much anymore, and I wanted my body to continue being in its best possible form.
And you wanted a bigger butt.
Yeah, I did want a bigger butt. I had a kind of flat butt before, so.
But now it's huge.
No, but It's gotten better.
Massive.
No.
Nicki Minaj status.
No.
All right, so how was it? Like the first few times going to the gym, I remember, I think we've even talked about this. You went and started doing, was it all around exercises or just leg exercises?
The first day I did leg, but so I have 2 days. So my first day is leg, my second day is my upper, so it's lower and upper. But when we first started going, I thought I was still in my prime. I thought I was still this active, fit, awesome girl like I'd been my whole life. So I worked out my legs hard because I knew my legs could handle it, because I've done, I guess with soccer, I've always had well-conditioned legs. So I worked out hard. I wasn't feeling it. And then Jared and Tenny both told me, you should probably take it a little bit slower. And I didn't listen to him. I was like, no, I got this. I can do this. And I ended up working myself so hard that like I couldn't even walk after that. I had to like crawl up the stairs. I would bend down to help my students on a problem. And my students would look at me and be like, what's wrong with you, Mrs. Anderson? Because I would just wince and like kind of groan the whole way down, and then do the same thing when I went to go stand ran back up. So I learned the hard way that if you've taken a break, you got to start slow and work your way up to it. But I really enjoyed the feeling that it gave me when we started to exercise and we started to do the weightlifting, because it helped me decrease my stress that I was having naturally. But so it helped me decrease my stress, but then it also just felt good to be working out again and kind of gave me that confident booster that I needed at that moment and helped me feel better about myself and my body.
Yeah. I think that's an interesting point to hit on. And you've talked about that before too, about your stress levels. Like Mikaila said, she's a teacher, and trying to control kids seems stressful enough to me day in, day out. But you've also told me that you don't like running.
Yeah, I hate running.
Just running to run.
It's so dumb. If you put a soccer ball in front of me, I could run for hours. But if I just have to go outside and run a mile, it's the literal worst thing to me. I know other people love it. It's just not my thing.
So, but lifting then, do you feel like lifting in a way is a comparable stress reliever to some of the sports you've done?
I would say so. I think it kind of helps me feel accomplished by the time I'm done. It makes me feel like I've completed something and I've done something good to better myself. And in that, retrospectively, that helps me decrease my stress levels because I'm feeling positive about myself. I've completed something and done something that is self-love. And so it helps kind of decrease those levels for me.
Yeah, I know you also enjoy the mirrors in the gym. She loves putting on her favorite sports bra.
Checking myself out.
Going lifting, yeah.
Especially now. Probably at the beginning I was a little bit more shy and timid, but especially when Tenny's not there, I definitely take it full advantage of those mirrors.
Yeah. Yep, anyways. But I think that's a really applicable message, especially to our female listeners, but to everybody really. Whatever step you're at in the process, it's all about, self-love, about enjoying the way you look. I mean, it seems like our society tells us that if we stoop to loving ourselves or the way we look, then we're giving up on ever getting better. But honestly, I think it's great that you can look at yourself in the mirror and be like, man, I feel or I look attractive today, or I can feel or see a difference.
And I'll be honest, before we started working out, I felt like I was attractive then too. I felt like I had a pretty good body. There was a few little things that I was like, granted, I wanted a bigger butt and I wanted to tone my arms again because I felt like they were kind of getting a flab to them that I'd never had before. So there were like a few things here and there, but I loved my body before, but now I love it even more. I love being able to look at my arms and see more definition. I love being able to pick up things that I thought were heavy before and realize that they're not as heavy anymore. So I've seen strength increase. I love being able to look at my butt and actually see roundness to it instead of just seeing flatness. So
the bubble.
I want to see my bubble. But it's just been nice to kind of see, like, I might have loved my body before, but I love it even more now. And so I know if you're having self-confidence issues or different things like that, working out and different things can help build that up as you start seeing gains that you didn't even expect.
Yeah. Man, there's so much I'd love to talk about. I remember one time we went to the gym and Mikaila has been she's been going up in weight, as in she's been able to lift more weights really quickly. She's been progressing super quickly. I remember one time I'm in the gym lifting and she goes up to Tenny. She's like, should I be putting more weight onto this? I feel like I should be struggling like Jared.
I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't.
But it's been really cool to see her progress, and it's been really nice to have somebody to work out with. I mean, not everybody can have somebody to go with them all the time, but I've been really lucky that I've been able to. And she's been great at spotting, too. She's just as capable at spotting as anybody. She's really good at it, and I think that could be really intimidating for women. I know it is for Tenny's wife.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. Like, what if I can't handle it and I like kill my husband? But in the end, I haven't done that yet, so that's been pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't died yet. Not like Tenny.
Yeah, Tenny's gone. He died of a cold.
Yep. We're just kidding. Hopefully he's back next week. But knock on wood, maybe he won't. I don't know. So, yeah, that's been really cool that you've been lifting, that you've been enjoying it. How about the dieting portion? Because you started not long after that. Or you started that not long after I did. How has that been?
That has been interesting. It's been very much... I'm very much a challenge-oriented person. And so the fact that Tenny told me, okay, you have to eat this many calories a day, and I'm like 2,100 calories, but you have to eat this many a day. At first, he was like, just see how many you eat in one day. So I downloaded the MyFitness app.
MyFitnessPal?
MyFitnessPal, yeah. Not sponsored yet, but maybe. But I downloaded it, and it told me how many calories I should be eating. So I started eating that many calories, and Jared had to keep on reminding me, saying, oh, no, don't worry. It's not about making that many calories. It's seeing how many you have in a day. And I had a hard time with that because I was like, no, it's telling me I need to eat these many calories, so I'm going to eat that many calories. And so when Tenny set the actual how much I was going to eat, it's been nice to kind of have that guideline. But another thing that's been nice about it too is it tells me how much sugar I'm eating and different things like that. And I'm trying to avoid anything sugary at the moment. And so that was working really, really well for me until Teacher Appreciation Week, which I still haven't come back fully from, because I told myself that week is my week that I get to just splurge. I get to eat whatever I want, whatever the kids bring me, and I realized how hard it is to come back from that. So I think I'm going to have to not have those splurge weeks, maybe just a splurge dessert here and there, but I'm working my way back down again. So I haven't been as diligent in tracking my diet in the last few weeks, but I'm trying to get back on track now that I'm in summer.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. And Mikaila's in a unique position. Let me just clarify real fast. When she said that she really wanted to follow those numbers, it's because MyFitnessPal, when you start, you put in your weight and some general statistics about yourself, and then it gives you a recommended diet plan, a recommended amount of calories. But at that moment, we were trying to see how many calories she gets a week on average, you know. So just tracking her regular diet to see how we need to adjust it. But the moment that she saw that the app said you should be doing this, she couldn't help it. So
it's a challenge.
I don't want you to go away with this thinking, oh, I can eat whatever I want. No, you should follow the recommended calorie goal that hopefully you've custom made for yourself, or you could message Tenny. He's really good at that kind of thing. And that app is actually pretty close too. But Mikaila, like I said, is in kind of a unique position because she is a pretty athletic person. The first time we weighed her, she was in a pretty athletic range, even though she hadn't done many sports in a matter of like years. But I mean, she's a teacher, so she walks around all the time and helps
about 5
students.
miles every day.
Yeah, 5 miles every day. That's not a stagnant lifestyle. That's pretty good. But it's an interesting perspective though, because I think a lot of females might be tracking their diet specifically looking for weight loss, whereas I would say that your diet is to maintain weight.
Yes, for sure.
And
I can't lose weight.
Yeah, maybe you can speak to this, though. I know one thing that you've been really concerned about is your fat or gaining weight or whatever.
Yeah, I have a hard time. I've been... for me personally, I've always been at about 100 to 105. And I remember, I'd always been in college. I'd always been at 100. And towards the end of college, like when I was getting close to graduating and right after I graduated, I went up to like 103 pounds. And I know that, in my head that didn't like in my head logically didn't make sense, but to me that was a big deal. I had gone up 3 pounds and I'd been 100 basically all of high school, all of college, and I'd stayed at that same range. So the fact that I gained weight kind of was crazy to me, and I got it to 105, which I know is not much, and for me, that's my comfort zone now. I feel good at 105. So as I started working out, I got really scared to gain weight from muscle too, because I didn't want to leave my comfort zone of 105. I wanted to stay right where I was at, and I didn't want to gain more weight. And both Tenny and Jared have been kind of trying to help me understand that weight is just a number and muscle weighs more. And so the fact that I might fluctuate or grow higher in weight doesn't mean I'm getting bigger. It just means I am growing stronger. And so that's been something I've been trying to internalize and understand that as I start this journey, I might gain more weight than I was before. And that's okay, because it's just my body becoming stronger and becoming how I want it to be.
Yeah, if you want the bubble, you got to put on the weight.
Yeah.
But that's another cultural thing, I think. People are afraid of weight, but weight doesn't tell you anything about your health. I mean, Tenny's talked about that. If he is weighed, he's considered overweight. And you've probably seen pictures on Instagram of Tenny. He's only overweight because he's muscular.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Mikaila, her muscle to fat ratio is really great for a female. Mm-hmm. But I understand that internally, it's hard to see the weight go up on the scale. So, I mean, if you're listening to this and you're a female, or you know of somebody that's starting off as a lifter that's a woman, or I guess it applies for some men as well, don't be afraid of the numbers that come up on the scale. You know, it's kind of difficult to get past that mental barrier, but a weight doesn't say anything about your health or about who you are. I mean, look in the mirror. That's going to be a better indicator in some situations. Or if you know what you're eating and you're tracking your calories, know that your body's doing what it's supposed to be doing. So that's a little blurb right there about weight. I'm glad we touched it. But you've been making great progress. Let's ask you this. What has been the hardest part about lifting?
Probably recently, I would say that actually the whole process has been kind of easy for me. Like we've said before, I'm naturally pretty athletic. I like doing athletic things, and I like challenges, and I like competition. And so I've almost been competing. I don't think I've even told Jared this. I've almost been competing, trying to like gain weight more than, not weight like as in on my body, but like gaining weight levels as I start working out, adding weight to my reps.
Yeah, just going up in weight.
Yeah, just going up in weight with that. But I've been almost trying to compete and keep up with Jared, because he's gone up in weight as he's been lifting pretty fast as well. And so I wanted to be the same, because I didn't want him to outdo me. I wanted to still be the athletic one in the relationship. So it's been kind of a competition like that. But I would say as of recently, the hardest thing for me has been diet and keeping track of it. I haven't wanted to track my diet because I've been adding more sugar into my life recently, and I haven't really wanted to track it and know how much sugar I've been having. So I've been avoiding that. But I'm making a promise to all you listeners right now that as of tomorrow, I'm going to start tracking again and being good with that as well, because I know that's a huge part with lifting. So I don't even know if I've been eating enough protein that I should be eating to build up the muscles that I'm wanting, or if I've been hitting my goal in food, or because if I'm not, I could drop in weight or I could lose the muscle that I've been gaining. But if I'm eating more than I need to be eating, I could also be gaining fat along with the muscle, which is not something that I want.
Yeah. I mean, you'll gain fat with muscle regardless, but you want it to be
at a good rate.
proportionate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, we've said that before, but if you're a female listener, know that it's natural to go up in fat, and it can actually be a very good thing. Fat's not the enemy. It's just, if you're reaching a level of obesity that's unhealthy, that is different, but fat's not necessarily the problem. It's just in excess. So, if there are any listeners that are women, what would you recommend to them if they're starting out with lifting? What do you wish you would have known?
Probably mainly I think my biggest worry through the whole thing was gaining weight. I wanted to stay right where I was, but I wanted to get the bubble butt and I wanted to get toner arms. And with that comes the fact that I will be gaining muscle in those areas, so my weight will go up. And that's okay. It's natural. It's part of the process. I don't think I mentally thought about that. I was just like, oh, well, I would like this and I would like that. And I didn't think about what would come with that and how that would change my body overall with its weight. And so that would be a big thing. But I think another huge thing is to find yourself. I don't know, like you can even reach out to Tenny. I know Tenny has been so great to a few of the listeners or a few people that have found the Instagram page that have reached out to him. I would reach out to him if you don't know how to do some of the moves. We're going to try to start making workout videos that have one of us doing the actual workout so you know how to do it. Because for me, that was my biggest thing. Like I said before, I tried to do it before when I was in college, but I didn't know how to do it and I didn't want to look silly in the gym in front of other people. And so having Tenny with us to be able to help us has been great because I can ask him like, oh, I'm not feeling it here. What am I supposed to do? Or for an example, I have never, when I've worked out my abs, I have never actually felt something in my abs as I've worked them out. It's always just felt like normal. So I was always like, so something's broken with my abs. And then Tenny had me do an exercise and I definitely felt them afterwards because he helped me target all the spots where I needed to be feeling it. And so I was able to finally feel what a true ab workout feels like. And it
doesn't feel good.
It was brutal. It's the worst. I hate those exercises, but they're good for me. So I do them. So I would reach out to Tenny or find someone in your life that can help you know how to do the exercises because that's been something super beneficial for me. If I would have walked in the gym and they just said, okay, try this and not shown me how or modeled it or demonstrated it or told me where I should be feeling it, I would have no idea if I was making any progress or I could be working out the wrong muscle or I could be straining something.
Yeah. And the weights in the machines can be intimidating. Mm-hmm. I imagine especially so for somebody like you. Mm-hmm. So that's really good advice. I mean, go do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Go and work out. It'll make a big difference. And I know she hasn't talked much about it, but it's definitely had big health benefits. Mm-hmm. Both mentally and I think physically. She's just had more energy.
I've been happier. Mm-hmm. This year was a hard year, as many of you know. It's been hard for everyone, but as a teacher, it was a very weird year. So it was nice to have that thing that I could go release some either pent-up emotions or different things like that. A good, safe place where I could release the things that I needed to in my life.
Yeah. I mean, even something as silly as like the fact that you've not had issues cutting down boxes, taking out trash, whatever else, holding our nephew and our niece, well, nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that you have the stamina, we apologize. Our dog's done with this episode. He's sick of this. He likes Doritos, but not in the body shape. He likes the puffy cheese crisp things.
Puff Cheetos. He is a Puff Cheeto.
Yeah, he's a Puff Cheeto. I'm trying to be a Dorito and he strives for the Puff Cheeto.
That's his life.
I don't even remember what I was saying, but I think I'm just getting at it. It's applicable to life. It makes you more healthy. It makes you stronger. It just helps you go about your day better, relieves stress, makes you more attractive, makes you feel more attractive. I mean, all of those things, they're huge benefits. And I think it's really cool because I don't know. I don't know if you feel like there's a stigma, but usually when I imagine weightlifting, mostly I think about dudes doing it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you had a fear that you were just going to get huge.
Yeah, I did. I thought I was going to end up looking like one of the men.
Yeah, she almost looks like a man, but not quite. No, I think it's been the exact opposite, though. You've been like, I don't see a huge difference.
Mm-mm.
I mean, she looks fit. She looks toned, but it's not like she's getting massive.
Mm-mm.
That just doesn't really happen with females, and I'm sure Tenny will touch more on that. That's not to say that it doesn't happen with any females and that it won't, but I mean, you can whatever that body style that you want to get is, you can achieve it through hard work, you know. And I think Mikaila's just going for the athletic, fit body style, and
with the bubble butt,
the Nicki Minaj, and she's making progress really well, and I'm really excited for her. So, is there anything else you wanted to add?
Not that I can think of right now.
No? All right. Well, that's good. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad that our listeners have made it through this episode without Tenny. I'm sure it was awful.
Sorry, I'm not as funny as him.
Yeah, Tenny's a funny guy.
And he's pretty cool.
Yeah, nothing to do with his knowledge and exercise and food, but he's just funny. That's why people listen.
Yep.
They're like, could we stop talking about exercise? Could this just be a comedy routine?
Seriously.
Well, anyways, thanks so much for coming. Hopefully we'll hear more from you, and we'll be seeing more from you. Tenny's posted at least one picture of Mikaila on the socials, and they were pretty artsy-fartsy, if you ask me. I took the picture, so
he was having a moment.
It looks great. It's a cool picture, you know, like the light pouring in and just like the silhouette lifting some weights. I think it's cool.
It's pretty cool. You did great.
Check it out. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you on the next episode of Lifting with Lions.